Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Bible Summary Series. Today, we're starting in Genesis chapter 47, verses 13 to 31. Now there was no bread left in the land because the famine was so severe, and the people of Egypt and Canaan were starving. And Joseph collected all the money found in Egypt and Canaan as the people came and bought grain from him. Then Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. But when the money was gone in the land of Egypt and Canaan, the Egyptians came to Joseph and said, "Give us food. Why should we die before your very eyes? For our money is gone." "Give me your livestock," Joseph said, "and I will give you food in exchange for your livestock, since the money is gone." So they brought their animals to Joseph, and he gave them food in exchange for their horses, the flocks, the herds, and the donkeys, and he gave them grain in exchange for all their livestock for that year. But when that year ended, they came to him the next year and said, "We will not hide from my lord that our money is gone, and my lord also has our herds of livestock. Now there is nothing left except for our bodies and our lands. But why should we die before your very eyes? Buy us and our land in exchange for food. We offer ourselves and our property as servants for Pharaoh. Just give us grain so we may live and not die, and so the land does not become desolate and empty." So Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for every Egyptian sold his field, because the famine was so severe, and all the land became Pharaoh's. As for the people, he moved them to cities from one end of Egypt's borders to the other. The only land he didn't buy was the priests, because they received an allotment of food directly from Pharaoh, so they didn't need to sell their property. Then Joseph said to the people, "Look, I have bought you and your land today for Pharaoh. Here is seed for you, so you can plant the fields. And at the time of harvest, you must give 1/5 of your crop to Pharaoh. The remaining 4/5 will be your own for seed for your fields, and food for you, for your households, and your little ones." "You have saved our lives," the people said in gratitude. "May we find favor in the sight of my lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants." So Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt to this day that Pharaoh should receive 1/5 of all the crops grown on his land. Only the land of the priest did not become Pharaoh's. Meanwhile, Israel and his family lived in the land of Egypt, in the region of Goshen. They bought property there, were fruitful, and multiplied greatly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 more years. So the length of Jacob's life was 147 years. When the time drew near for Israel to die, he called for his son Joseph and said, "If I have found favor in your eyes, please put your hand under my thigh and promise to deal kindly and truly with me. Please do not bury me in Egypt, but when I rest with my fathers, carry me out of Egypt and bury me with my ancestors." "I will do as you have said," Joseph promised. "Swear to me," Jacob insisted. So Joseph swore to his father, and Israel bowed humbly at the head of his bed. In Genesis chapter 48, after some time had passed, someone told Joseph, "Your father is sick." So Joseph took his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, and visited his father Jacob. When Joseph arrived, Jacob was told, "Look, your son Joseph has come to see you." So Israel strengthened himself and sat up on his bed. Then Jacob said to his son, "God Almighty appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me, saying, 'Behold, I will make you fruitful and multiply you. I will make you a multitude of people, and I will give this land to your descendants as an everlasting possession.' Now your 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, who were born to you in the land of Egypt before I came to you, are mine. I claim them as my sons, just as Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. But any children born to you in the future will be your own, and they will inherit land within the territories of their brothers Ephraim and Manasseh. Long ago, when I came from Paddan Aram, Rachel died beside me in the land of Canaan on the journey, while there was still some distance to go to Ephrath, and I buried her there on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. Then Israel looked at Joseph's 2 sons and said, "Who are these?" "These are my sons," Joseph replied, "whom God has given me here in Egypt. Please bring them closer, so that I may bless them." Now Israel's eyes were dim from old age, so that he could hardly see. Then Joseph brought his sons close to him, and their grandfather kissed and embraced them. Then Israel said to Joseph, "I had not thought to see your face, and look, God has shown me your offspring as well." Joseph moved the boys away from their grandfather and bowed with his face to the ground. Then Joseph positioned his 2 boys in front of his father. He placed Ephraim at Israel's left hand and Manasseh toward Israel's right hand. But Jacob intentionally crossed his arms as he reached out to lay his hands on the boys' heads. He placed his right hand on Ephraim's head, although he was the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh's head, although Manasseh was the firstborn. Then Jacob blessed Joseph and said, "May the God before whom my grandfather Abraham and my father Isaac walked, the God who has been my shepherd and fed and cared for me all my life long to this day, the angel who has redeemed me from all evil, bless these boys. May they preserve my name and the names of Abraham and Isaac, and may their descendants grow into a great multitude throughout the earth." But Joseph was upset when he saw that his father had placed his right hand on Ephraim's head. So Joseph grabbed his father's hand and lifted it to move it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. "Not so, my father," Joseph protested, "for this is the firstborn. Place your right hand on Manasseh's head." But his father refused. "I know, my son, I know. Manasseh also will become a people, and he also will be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than him, and his descendants will become a multitude of nations." So Jacob blessed the boys that day and said, "By you Israel will pronounce a blessing, saying, 'May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh.'" In this way, Jacob placed Ephraim ahead of his older brother Manasseh. Then Israel said to Joseph, "Look, I am about to die, but God will be with you and bring you back to the land of your fathers, to Canaan. Moreover, I am giving you 1 portion more than your brothers from the land that I took from the control of the Amorites in battle with my sword and with my bow."